adventure.
Hi everyone and welcome back to the Ripple Effect under Beat and Brush. I'm Raina Kapoor.
And I'm Ishimirani. Today's episode is honestly a little surreal for us.
Because we're sitting down with someone whose work hasn't just entertained us, it stayed with us. Someone who's chosen intention over noise, depth over speed, and meaning over momentum. Our guest today is an actor, a writer, an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, but more than labels, he's a storyteller who seems deeply curious about what it means to be human.
From unforgettable performances in Rang De Basandi, Gold, and The Empire to co founding Ketto and quietly impacting millions of lives, his journey reminds us that success doesn't always have to be loud. This conversation isn't about fame, it's about choices, pauses, purpose, and the kind of legacy that doesn't need applause to matter.
So, with immense gratitude and a lot of excitement, we welcome Kunal Kapoor. Thank you so much for being here with us. So, I want
Hey, great to see you guys.
great to see you too. So, I want to start with The Empire. Your portrayal of Babur earned immense critical acclaim. But what really stood out was the vulnerability you brought to someone remembered primarily as a conqueror. How did you balance historical accuracy with emotional honesty while playing such a powerful figure?
There's a really interesting thing that one of the actors had said years ago. I forget his name, but he said that I always look for the pauper and the prince, and the prince and the pauper,
Yeah.
right? Which means that there's what we project in our lives, and then what we are inside, and what makes any
Yeah.
character or any person interesting is how contradictory those two things are. Right? So you might project power, but you might be incredibly vulnerable inside, or you might look vulnerable inside, but you might have a spark of great power. And I think as an actor, it's about finding both of those. The balance between power and vulnerability, because I think each one of us, in like different varying degrees, feels vulnerable about things and then feels confident and powerful about things. So I think if you play any character one dimensional, oh, this is a king, he's only powerful, right?
Yeah.
Then it becomes kind of boring to watch. Or if you play somebody uh, that's going through a hard time in life and you're only playing the vulnerable, that again becomes boring, right? So if you can find the power in between somebody that's going through lots of vulnerability, then suddenly you start seeing the human side in that character, and that makes it interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that you say that because it never felt like you were playing history. It felt like you were playing a human being who happened to be inside the history.
Yeah. So, moving on to segment two. Something we've always admired about your career is how intentional it feels. After massive successes like Runway, Basanti, and Gold, you've taken deliberate breaks, which is rare in an industry that rewards constant visibility. How important have pauses and reflection been in shaping your long term journey as an actor?
Well, I think people sometimes mistake visibility for value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, uh, you feel like you just have to be constantly visible to be like kind of valuable. Uh, what I find is very important is to step back and reflect and think about the choices that you made. Think about what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy. Think about what you really want to do. I think that's the most important thing in life, right? Is what is it that really excites you, and what is it that you really want to sort of spend your time engaged in? Einstein had a really interesting quote. He said, success. People think success is about money and fame and all that, but success in life is about being finding something that you're excited about.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important to step back and keep asking yourself, what is it that excites you, right? So for me, what really excites me is a particular kind of story, but those stories weren't coming my way. So I decided to step back and start a writer's room so that I could develop those stories, right? Uh, the other thing that really excites me is technology. So I've spent a lot of time not only building a tech company, but investing in multiple tech companies as well. So I think you got to keep asking yourself and keep reflecting on what it is that excites you. And if that opportunity is not coming your way, then how do you sort of create that opportunity for yourself?
Yeah, and I think your work is so great, like all that I've watched. Like I remember watching Gold in the cinema and being like, I know.
Right.
And I was so
Yeah.
excited because all your work is so remarkable because you take so many breaks and pauses to reflect.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Segment 3. If you could go back and speak to your 25-year-old self, standing right before Rang De Basanti, what's the one piece of advice you'd give him? And why that specifically?
Well, I think, not only to myself, anybody that's young, I would say don't define yourself very early in life,
Yeah.
right? We're all in a tearing rush to put ourselves in a box. The world wants to put you in a box anyways. So I'd worked with MF Hussain. That was my first firm. And he said, I'm not only a painter, I'm also a writer. I'm also an explorer. I'm also a foodie. I'm also somebody like that likes poetry. So I'm poetic. So, he said the world will always be in a hurry to define you, but don't be in a hurry to define yourself,
Yeah.
right? Try many different things, fail at that, uh, you know, uh, travel the world, explore. Don't like close your mind very early to what
Yeah.
life is
Yeah.
about, and try and explore as much as you can.
Yeah, and I think one thing we read while researching about you is that you like flying planes, you
And
like
car
racing.
racing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you didn't let the world define you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. No, there's so many things to explore. I mean, the way I look at it is life is really short,
Yeah.
and eventually, no matter who you are, you're going to be a footnote on a planet that's a footnote. So don't constantly seek validation and from other people. Just think about what it is that you enjoy, and uh, you know, uh, try as many things as possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So, moving on to the next question. As cinema evolves and reaches wider, more global audiences, the role of an actor feels heavier than ever. Do you feel a responsibility more to entertain, to provoke thought, or to reflect humanity as honestly as possible?
Well, I think it's got to be a combination of both, right? It's not always possible, but I mean, for me, the ideal film would be one where uh, an audience goes into the film and gets entertained, but
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
also comes out thinking about something, right?
Yeah.
That for me is the sweet spot. I mean, you don't want to make a film that nobody watches because you want to reach as many people as possible. At the same time, you have a really powerful medium like cinema, which really influences the way people think. It influences pop culture and social culture. So if you can get people to think at the same time, it's the best kind of combination. It doesn't always happen, but I think that's the attempt. And also, I mean, even with business and stuff, right? I mean, the reason to start Ketto was very similar. It's not a it's not a non-profit; it's a for-profit. So it is a business, but I wanted to start a business that also has a social impact.
Yeah.
And I think it's very similar with the movies as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think whatever you say, you carry all these lessons with you because every common room, and I'm not joking, every common room movie night, one suggestion is always Beer Zindagi.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Every Saturday night.
yeah, every Saturday night.
Yeah.
And every time we watch it, we always have something new to talk about. So,
Yeah.
Right. It was a fun film.
yeah. So you've co-written Love Shav Te Chicken Khurana and recently started a writer's room to develop your own projects. What are the kinds of stories you feel Hindi cinema still isn't telling enough of? Stories that you personally feel compelled to explore.
Well, I think cinema right now here at least is not exploring enough of internal conflicts of people.
Yeah.
It's all very simplified. There's a hero, there's a villain, there's a victim, there's an oppressor. But life doesn't work like that. It's not so simple.
Yeah.
There's so many gray areas and there's so many spaces in between that we should explore, uh, which a lot of cinema across the world does. It's possible to explore those films spaces and still make a popular film, but I think we've done that very very little. We've not explored the spaces in between. We've made it very simplistic. Good versus
Yeah.
evil, hero villain. Everything ends happily. So I think those gray spaces are spaces that we should explore more of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really exciting because it feels like those are the stories that don't shout but like actually stay. So, next question.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So, as co-founder of Ketto, you've helped raise
Yeah,
over $150 million for social causes. That means being closely exposed to very real, very raw human struggles. How has
yeah.
that proximity to real life influenced your choices as an actor and a storyteller?
Well, I don't know if it's directly influenced my choices as an actor and storyteller, but I mean, look, at the end of the day, any creative person or any artist uh, can only reflect what they've seen in life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, uh, Consciously or subconsciously, you're drawn towards things that have influenced you, that have made you the kind of person that you are, right? So I'm not sure how it's directly impacted me, but it's obviously had a profound impact on me as a human being, and because it's had a profound impact on me as a human being, it's obviously had an impact on the kind of work that I do.
For sure. And I think it's very powerful how this kind of service seems to deepen your storytelling. It doesn't distract you from it, it drives you more towards it. Yeah.
Yeah, it would, right? I mean, the more experiences that you have as a human being, as an artist, obviously there's more depth. If there's more depth in who you are, then there's
Yeah.
going to be more depth in what you do as well.
100%.
Definitely.
Now, segment 7. When the noise fades, box office numbers, platforms, applause, what kind of truth do you hope your work leaves behind in the hearts of people who may never know your name but feel something because of your stories?
Well, I think with all of us, uh, it's usually not what you said or did, it's about how you made somebody feel in your life as well, right?
Yeah.
People remember you for how you made them feel. So you may have achieved a lot, but if you didn't make them feel good, they're not going to remember you well, right? So it all comes down to how you made people feel. And I think cinema is a very powerful medium because you can really make people feel many things, right? I mean, there's a collective audience that is watching a movie together, and you have the ability to affect them together. So hopefully, you leave them with, like I was saying, uh, a feeling that they not only enjoyed your work, but a feeling that your work impacted them in a way that helped them change their perspective about things, or help them grow, or help them look at the world in a kind of different way. So yeah, I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really beautiful. It feels like the kind of impact that doesn't need credit, just connection. So, you've
Correct.
acted across languages: Hindi, Malayalam, Telugu, English. You race cars, you fly planes. What mindset allows you to step into such different disciplines while still being grounded?
What is it? I think just curiosity. I think just
Yeah.
like I was saying, is I just feel like life is really short, and I just want to experience as many things as I can. And I have a mind that's bursting with ideas constantly and with activity and noise. And I think the only time it sort of stops and slows down is when I'm learning something new. So I really enjoy learning something new and just sort of immersing myself in something that I haven't experienced before. I think just innate curiosity. I want to know everything about everything. I want to know about geopolitics, and I want to know about the solar system, how it feels to fly a car, fly a plane, drive a fast car, start a business, act in the movies. I want to experience as many things as I can.
With all the stuff you're saying, I feel like I really, really, really look up to you. I wish I could be half the person you are today. I am 16. I still don't know how to ride a bicycle properly.
You're
But
16. You're just like you're not even half my age.
but I hope I get there someday.
You will get there for sure. I mean, the questions that you guys are asking are already so interesting, which means
Thank
that you
you.
have minds that are so interesting. And I'm sure, I mean, you'll get there much faster than I did.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
that's really nice.
Yeah. So, segment 9. With everything you've explored, entrepreneurship, art, flying, racing, philanthropy, What has life taught you about what truly matters when ambition is striped away and you're left simply being human?
I mean, I grew up in a household like, which is a lot of people, and, we already always had lots of relationships and community, and, there was always a lot of love.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, that is something that has great value is all my relationships, right? Uh, that is something I think stripped down has a lot of value. And secondly, is uh, is not seeking validation, but trying to find what it is that's at the core of you. What it is that sort of moves you or excites you. I mean, you could decide tomorrow that you just want to be a beach bum. That's fine. You might decide you want to work and become the greatest actor or greatest businessman. That's fine as well. You might want to work for 24 hours a day, or you might want to work only for 2 hours a day. That's fine as well. But you've got to find. I think for me, it's just constantly about exploring what makes me unique and kind of then expressing that and finding those things that are aligned with that. So yeah, more than validation, finding what your values are, I think are important.
Yeah. Now, other than all the questions that we put into the script, I have one small question to ask you because now you've generated that spark of curiosity within me. What's one of your favorite movies, Bollywood, Hollywood, any language that like you've ever watched?
My God, there's so many, right? It's always very difficult to choose a couple of movies. I mean, I love Braveheart, Gladiator. Uh, I've loved there's a film called Apocalypto. Uh, there's so many films. It's very difficult to pick. Sholay, Chupke Chupke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Godfather. I mean, there's just a lot of films. It's very difficult to choose a few favorite films.
Makes sense. And I'm not saying this to please you or because you're here, but my favorite film will always be Dear Zindagi.
Love
Oh,
that.
really? How sweet.
Loved it
Oh, I like
so
that.
much.
So,
Oh, nice.
So, thank you so much for this conversation. It didn't feel like an interview. It felt like a chance to learn more from someone as experienced as you.
conversations like this remind us that success isn't always about accumulation. Sometimes it's about alignment, and your journey is a reminder that depth is a choice.
To everyone listening, if today's episode made you pause, reflect, or feel seen in some small way, then that's the ripple we hope to create.
Thank you for joining us on the Ripple Effect under Beat and Brush. We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, keep choosing meaning over noise. Thank you.